that was some noise. Two PTSD GPT AI robots reported using the new eye color balls in a wrong way. All right. Is there a way I can do anything about the music? I don't know. Hold on, I got the bloom back. Okay. I don't know what to do about the music. It might be something that has to be done in post to lower that volume down. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. We are playing Concert Cleanup in Viscera Detail, a brand new map that just came out. Looked like a lot of fun. Get that there. Anyway, hi. By the time this video will go up, it will probably be either Thanksgiving Day or just before. So happy Thanksgiving for all of those that celebrate. And if you don't, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I am promising that I am eating like I'm gorging myself on so much food. My family is definitely the type of family that everything is done around food. We celebrate, we mourn, we gather, we make major life decisions all around food. So, yeah, big family. I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. And I used to be a retail worker. I actually got my start working for a candle store, selling gifts and whatnot. And it was really a big deal for Christmas. And then I worked for a surplus knockoff shoe store, which is now out of business. And that was okay. I didn't mind it. It was okay. I worked with a lot of females. It was all females that I worked with. And females are catty as heck. And so that was an experience. There was no instructions whatsoever of how to turn the music off. Hold on, be right back. Let me check the Steam page and see if I can shut the music off. Okay, best I can tell, there's no way to shut the music off, which is unfortunate. Yeah, nothing I can do. I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, so I used to work retail. And Black Friday is my least favorite of anything. I actually had to go to the emergency room 3 times during various Black Fridays. The worst was when I actually worked for Walmart. I used to be a manager for my local Walmart, and that was the worst experience in my life. I worked with them for about 10 years. And yeah, anyway. So the first time I had to go to the emergency room, my very first experience was, so we usually get there about 3 o'clock in the morning, give or take, and as managers. But the first time I wasn't a manager. I was actually just a sales floor associate, wanting to be a manager because why not torture myself that way? And so there. Nope, that one's dirty too. Yeah, one's dirty too. So my job at the time had been to direct customers to keep them kind of as much as possible in organized lines. Now, keep in mind, this was early Black Friday. Like, I want to say probably early 2000s, maybe. And, I got distracted by all the gunk. So, they had me trying to direct the flow of people and carts and whatever. And I was stationed back in electronics, which should have been my first worry, but no, I'm a brave person. So I'm directing people to go through the lines, trying to keep things orderly. And I wasn't fast enough for the customers because we did the official countdown. Like, the store was open the whole time. I believe it opened its doors at like 5 o'clock in the morning or something. And so people were allowed to line up, but they couldn't grab the product until like, I can't remember if it was like 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever. And so there'd like be a big exciting countdown, and people would get all like, "Rawr!" all for, and the first time I got hurt, it was over SD memory cards. Memory cards for, like, say a camera, because that was actually what they were sold for. It was 256 megabytes that were on Black Friday for like $60. And originally they were, I can't remember the original price, but it was really expensive. I want to say over $100. If not $200. And so there's a big line of people lining up waiting for those, and they were doing the countdown, and they were at 5, 4, and a woman slammed into me so hard with her cart that it knocked me down, but it also, as I was going down, also pinched me to another customer's cart. And I had thought they broke my hip. My hip hurt so bad, and I didn't really tell anybody about it until much later, after like the initial calm ran down. The woman didn't even say sorry. She didn't even acknowledge that she knocked me down. She just went on her way, grabbed her 256 megabyte SD memory cards. And anyway, it was sometime later, about a couple hours later, and I thought for sure my hip was broken. My whole side was just inflamed. My ribs also hurt. And one of my toes really, really hurt. And so what I hadn't known at the time was that there was vans waiting outside to cart associates to the emergency room. Oh my gosh. At that time either, in future times, they would actually have paramedics there on site, but this time wasn't. They hadn't learned that tactic yet. So anyway, I get carted off with a group of other associates to the emergency room. It was just a handful of us, and I pulled my pants down per the nurse's request, and I was extremely inflamed and bruised, but the bruise hadn't really fleshed up yet. I was really red and inflamed, and it was a mess. I hadn't broken any limbs, but a couple days later, after the bruising really started to come up, I had the perfect bruise of the Walmart logo from the cart and the hex shapes of the cart. In my thigh and my hip. It was fantastic. So, anyway, that was the first time I got hurt. The second time I got hurt, at that time I actually was a manager, and I had put myself in charge of the glass cases, unlocking the glass cases. It was, I want to say, the Wii games that were on sale. I think the Wii system was on sale too, but I think it was the Wii games were extremely marked down. Or it might have been PlayStation games. I can't remember which. I'm starting to doubt that it might not have been the Wii games, because Nintendo is not known for marking their games down or allowing stores to mark their games down. But anyway, one of them, it was some systems games that was extremely cheap. And for whatever reason, Walmart decided that the best way to handle that was to put them behind locked cases. And every time a customer would ask for one of the games, I would have to unlock the case and hand them the case, or hand them the game. Which, at that point, might as well just leave the case open and let them go all in. But there was a limit on how many you could buy, if I recall correctly, which I think was what the idea behind that. was. So I unlocked. We're doing the countdown again. The 5, 4, 3, 2, and they get to 1, and I don't open the case far enough. And I had my hand on the left side of the case, my left hand on the left glass, and you unlock with your right. So I have my left hand on the left side to brace myself as I'm trying to unlock it. And these cases aren't the easiest to unlock. The locks are finicky, and you kind of have to line the two pieces together correctly to get it to unlatch. And anyway, another woman, I wasn't opening it fast enough. She grabs the right door that I just get unlocked and slams it open, keeping in mind my left hand is still on the left side of the glass. And I get my whole left hand and a little bit of my arm pinned between the two glass doors. Now, those glass openings are not very big, and it's not very forgiving. And also, on top of that, there is the metal lock that is the lock portion of it. It scrapes across my hand, my actual hand, my fingertips, and really cuts them up. And so I'm bleeding all over the games, the glass case. But does that stop anybody? No. Plus, I am locked. I am trapped between the two doors, and I can't slide it back because my hand is in the way, and I'm not on the correct tracks. They sit on these little tracks to move them, and because of the way that they were pushed open, it knocked one of the doors, if not both, off the tracks. So I am in the way. So we have to call somebody from maintenance, from assembly actually, to help get some screwdrivers and a rubber mallet to get them off the tracks and unhook them. It was basically taking the whole doors completely off. And I go to the emergency room, and I did, 2 of my fingers did require stitches from where the locked gate crossed over onto my hand. It was fantastic. So anyway, that was the second time I got hurt. And then the third time, which wasn't all that exciting, but they still made me go because I was still damaged, was I was working the registers, but as a manager, because there were some finicky items that weren't ringing up correctly. They were a substitute item for a Black Friday item that we had sold out immediately, and we had some substitute items that we were allowing people to use in place, but unfortunately they weren't ringing up correctly, so I had to be at the register to help get them rung up. And I had to go to one register to another register to another register to help do it. And finally I just said, well, let's just, every time you see someone with that particular rain check item, send them to this register and I'll get it done. I was not quick enough, and a gentleman threw an item at me from the register. It was like one of those TV, I want to say it was like a glass breaker, like that you use to break open your car window in case you were trapped or whatever. It was a stupid little thing. But anyway, he threw it at me, and it hit my cheek and cut open my cheek, and I had a black eye, and it was fantastic. And they still made me go, even though it wasn't that bad. But yeah, so anyway, I have a deep, deep hatred for Black Friday and for people, because why? And there's quite a few other stories of other people really getting seriously hurt. I know one person in my store was using an illegal box cutter, and the store had the brilliant idea of that as we were getting close to the time to let people pick up the items, they had to, they were wrapped in a black plastic wrap, black shrink wrap. And as we were getting close, we would unwrap it so people would see it. And the poor guy wasn't fast enough unwrapping it, and a group of customers kind of surged into him. And he was using an illegal box cutter, which was just your basic knife box cutter. It wasn't a safety sheath. And cut open from his He stabbed himself in the just below his chin, but not quite his neck, like more like your clavicle, and then came up and then hooked a little sideways and got his chin and then his cheek and then towards his ear, and it was bad, and it was messy. And do you think that stopped the customers at all? No, they were more upset that the fact that he was bleeding on the product than anything. Oh, man. So anyway, those are my Black Friday stories. I continued working for different types of retail after I left Walmart. I worked as a graphic designer for a large office print store, one of those shops where you can get your posters printed, but also buy an office chair if you so need one. You know which ones I'm talking about. Anyway, I used to work for them, and they had to do Black Friday, but because I worked in the print center, I actually got the day off, or the morning off. I would come in after the Black Friday was done, because they needed someone to work for the print center. And then, in fact, they actually just closed the print center down during that time frame while the Black Friday was happening. No printing could be done, and that would frustrate people all the way until me would come in, because they were like, well, why did you have to close that down? I need stuff printed. It was great. It was great. And we would have signs up for a whole, a week or two saying anticipate during Black Friday that there would be no print center. It would come back later in the day. But that still made people really upset. So, yeah. Anyway. We're gonna toss these chairs. The stage is actually really cool. I was gonna say something in the beginning, but I was too busy telling you about my Black Friday horror stories that I forgot to mention. Now, they did swear, the artist of this map did swear that the music is copyright free from Pixabay. I am hoping that they're correct, or you're gonna have absolutely no sound whatsoever. Which at that point, I'm not even gonna bother to put the video up. Good beat, though. Anyway, you guys have any horror Black Friday stories? Are you excited about Black Friday? I feel like over the last few years, especially since the pandemic, the Black Friday has changed quite a bit. Most people get their stuff online or Amazon. And I've noticed that the deals over the last few years aren't even that great. It's like 30% off, but of course they pre-mark it up. So it's really like 10% off. It used to be a big deal. I know that big retail companies, big box retail companies, would plan almost a full year ahead about what they were going to sell for Black Friday. At least the one I worked at did. Couldn't really say if the office supply store I did really had big plans, pre-planning, or if it was kind of a spur of a moment. I always felt a bit spur of the moment. Guess I don't really ever feel like they had like special product. The thing about Walmart that they had done was they actually had product that was specifically made for Black Friday. Like those SD memory cards were specifically made for Black Friday. They weren't a name brand that you would recognize, even though they were made by the same name brand company that would make the normal ones, but they would use a different label on them so they could sell them for cheaper. And I will tell you that I did buy one because I'm a hobbyist photographer, and the SD memory card didn't last very long whatsoever. I was on vacation out of country, and that SD memory card failed on me. And then I also, because it failed on me, I turned around and out of country bought a SD memory card, but this was like a gigabyte for the same price. That's that $256. Oh, memories. And now you can buy 256 for trail cameras for like $10. I am getting a little sick of the music though. Really wish I could have turned that off. No, so much fail in such a short period of time. Okay. Turn it. Oh, or on my headset. They do have the artist of this map. I did just see right before I loaded this one up. They did come out with another map, but I don't plan on playing that one. And that one looks more like a tongue-in-cheek experiment more than an actual map. The stage effects are really cool, but is trying to find out if there's a way that I can turn them off. I don't think so. No mega switch that says off. And this is crates, not barrels, unless it's all one and the same. I did see a janitor had some comments, and they had suggested using one of the prisoners' skins for a bouncer, and I love that idea. I would love some flares, which I think would add to the map, but also help with the yellow bin situation too. I had a cousin who, her and I, we don't really get along that well, just because, I don't know, two different conflicting personalities. But she loved Black Friday. And would be quite obnoxious about the fact that I didn't like Black Friday. She's like, you just hate deals. Or she was just like, you just hate deals. And I'm like, that had nothing to do with anything. And I was telling her about all the times that I was hurt during Black Friday. And she's like, oh, you just had to get out of the way. Like, she's also the type of person who would be like, oh, it's a shame they had to work on Christmas Day, but yet would be the one shopping there at Christmas Day. I would have expected a little bit more like graffiti and whatnot. And I am starting to get the motion sickness thing. Oh. I was having this problem during A Janitors and 4 Cants Factory. Getting this weird headache, migraine, motion sickness thing, and I don't know why. I got it on another game too. I'm in the outside rooms, I'm fine, but I get into that one room with the stage and it starts to kick in. Come on, chairs. You could just as easily with the lightsaber melt everything, but... No storage in here that I missed? I'm starting to think that they meant for it to say barrel storage and not crate, because we don't really have crates. I'm a big guy. I think I brought some with me. There's 3 levels in total out of the, I guess, maps that I'm interested in playing that I haven't played for the channel. I've played them personally, but I haven't played them for channel. Like, I think one is the entrance. There's a few handful of others that I haven't played. I tried playing them during Halloween, and they were actually really buggy. And on top of that, when I signed in today to update the game to give you this map, all my settings had reset to default. So if there's anything I forgot, that's my... But yeah, I don't know what that was about. Do you have a bucket of water? I have a bucket. Water, dirty water. Here. There is something, can you see it? Maybe I took care of it. The floor in this room is a bit weird. I don't know if you can see like the weird reflections of... Oh, like to my right there, you can see it. If I pan my camera just right, you can see the soot semi-disappear. Weird. Weird. Oh, there's a key there. Okay. Out of quick curiosity, I don't remember if they do or don't, so let's quick. It doesn't. Oh, it does. Never mind. Right. Well, never mind. I was gonna melt the chairs with the lightsaber, but they all make a big mess, and I don't think mopping the whole place would be any faster than just carrying the chairs in here, so never mind. So I will say, I'm thinking about Black Friday. I did buy a large, I don't know what they're called, like a stereo set. You've got the main CD player, yes, CD player, and then the 2 speakers and then the subwoofer. And I would later turn those into a surround sound for my TV. I did buy that super cheap. And I used it for a long time. Probably to the annoyance of my apartment neighbors back when I lived in an apartment. Move this in the corner so I don't accidentally hit chair. Oh, I actually didn't mean to let that go. I wanted to tip it over because you can use the yellow bins if you're smart up to 3 times. And if you're quick with emptying them, but fine. No, it's not fine. Of course, it had to be the ropey licorice. So I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 for the channel too. I'm actually done with it. I finished Liberty City. I'm just being very sluggish and editing the videos and getting them uploaded to the channel because it's not a very popular series with you guys, which is not a biggie. I'm just happy when one person watches my video, much less if it's popular or not. But anyway, besides the point. Not reason why I was telling that. But I have an easier time getting those videos to stay monetized than I do Viscera. That said, though, Viscera has been better the last bit, especially since I made sure to put in the thumbnails I don't show any strawberry jam or anything of questionable questions. No mutilated bodies or anything like that. It's been better, but I just find it funny that Cyberpunk lets me get away with monetization easier than good old Viscera. In fact, I was afraid when I did the Halloween special with the Spooktober, I was so afraid that none of those videos was going to make it through, and they all made it through. So clearly I don't understand how YouTube works. Alright, I'm just here for the ride with you guys. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I was doing this. Yeah. Why, game? Why? Why do you hate me so? So really my goal is to just quick pass of the paper stuff. I always find it funny that glass disappears really quickly, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but I know. Oh, so I wonder if all my settings reset. I wonder if that means my office reset too. I don't know. I know what causes that, to be honest. It's because I had the Friday the 13th map. I forgot who it was made by. It wasn't a janitor's version. It was the other person's version. I had their map installed and I hadn't gotten around to uninstalling it. And I believe the author deleted it. The map creator deleted it off the workshop on their own without me uninstalling. And when that happens, it goofs up my game file. Always has. 4 camps had a history of deleting their maps, and that caused the same issue. So I know what causes it. Which is kind of the reason for the authors, map makers who I follow their maps for the videos. It is why I don't stay followed to your maps. Please don't think it's because I think your maps suck. It's just because I delete it first, before any issues happen. It goes better for my save file. But I'm also not very attached to my save files either. If they go away, they go away. That's also why I don't collect collectibles. I don't want to get attached to anything. I always flip in my head. Sometimes I want to take the lightsaber to the item. Other times I like to take the lightsaber to the item. Depends on my mood. Let's get rid of it. Getting there. Oh. Pretty short map, really. Whoop. Okay, those are... Check the ceiling. Ceiling looks not bad, right? Close that down. Notice there's a bit of glitch in there. There's a machine part that's still in there. Okay, we'll do a sniffer test starting in the other room and see what we get. I'll bring you back if... Alright, done. Do a quick save. We are promoted. What did I miss? Miss something. Aerospace. There was jam somewhere that I missed. That's all it says. It was just the jam. I'll take my promotion and be happy with it though. Alright, 99%. Took me 46 minutes. Alright, thanks guys for keeping me company. I'll be back soon with something else.